Hello, welcome along to Bangkok ChitChat, and it's another Hua Hin report with our friend Richard, who's brought a friend as well. Hello, Richard.
Hello. Good to be with you again. And this is Leigh.
Hi.
And Leigh works, she has her own tourist travel company. Mm-hmm. And you take people all over Hua Hin, don't you?
I do. Hua Hin and around. So
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Sure do.
Okay. But there's been a lot going on. I mean, if you thought there was a lockdown, there's no way down here. There's been so much going on. But seriously, quite a while ago, we haven't been on from here for a little while. But one sad piece of news about a month ago, there was a shooting in a bar down the road that made the Bangkok Post and one or two other things. But still, it really had quite an effect on people locally. There was a woman who had gone into the bar that was down the road, and it's not in the bar area, it's just a standalone place. And she had a bit of an argument with the owner down there, and then went home and sent her brother to fire a couple of shots over the bar. Unfortunately, one of those shots killed one of the girls that worked in the bar, and she unfortunately died. Wow. And this was a major piece of news here. This was unfortunately, about a month ago now, but it still, kind of resonates and kind of hit home because it was such an unusual event. And there were a lot of people down there. I actually passed there because it's just very close to where we actually stay. And I actually went down there, one Saturday, and there were a lot of people paying respect to the girl who was just about to be buried, and everybody was upset and in tears, and it was a very sad situation.
Did they get the guy that was that shot?
Yes, they did. There was a guy from Cambodia, and there was a Thai guy, and there were a couple of others as well. And then their friends, and they had pulled up on motorcycles across the road from the bar and fired ideally over the top, but they were too low, and fired and hit this girl. And it was just very, very tragic because I think she was about 26, very young.
Yeah. At one point, if you remember, we were talking with you about how Hua Hin is now becoming a little bit more of a touristy, vibranty sort of place. And I think we touched on it. Will there be any negatives because of that? Now, this doesn't sound to me to be something that's anything to do with nightlife or drunk or whatever. So it is a one-off. But it did go through my mind, well, Hua Hin becoming more popular, more people, more drinking, eating, socializing, dancing, drugs, whatever. Are you going down that way maybe in the future? Because that comes part and parcel of becoming a popular resort, sadly.
Well, exactly. I mean, who knows? There was also a shooting up in China, wasn't there? A little bit before that, I think. There's been 2 or 3 incidents which have been really unpleasant and quite a shake-up to the area. And you're right, that maybe there's going to be a little bit more of that. But I think you can also add on the problems connected with COVID as well. The fact that so many more people out of work and really struggling. I met a journalist, Thai journalist, and he was telling me, he works really hard and has a tiny salary because they've had to cut back so much. And I think there are millions of people now really struggling. And of course that really has a lot of psychological effect, doesn't it, on people?
I think that on top,
there's going to be perhaps more incidents.
I think of that on top of the fact we did a show about guns, and in Thailand there are more guns per capita than there is in the US. There's so many guns out there, illegal guns. So the psychological effect, the mother's gone back or somebody said something which wasn't a situation, they've gone down to scare, and it was an accident. And we did a show about a week ago about prisons. And it was all about prisons for tourism. And one of the facts that came out for the reports was outside drugs, which is the most things people get arrested for, is accidental situations, like in a pub or something like that. You've hit and you killed them. Yeah. You weren't meaning to do it, it was accidental. Yeah. These guys gone there to be big and strong and mafia style, and they've made a mistake. No one taught them how to shoot.
Well, yeah,
Except
I mean,
pull a trigger. Yeah.
I mean, it's the old thing, isn't it? Guns don't kill people; people kill people.
Yeah. Very sad. Very sad. Anyway, how about giving us something which is actually quite nice?
All right, let's turn things around. There have been a lot of things going on, haven't there?
Yes, this little town has been quite active over the last few
Yeah.
weeks.
Well, you were involved with something just a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Tell us about that,
Yes,
because
so
that was interesting.
the gentleman's ride, the distinguished gentleman's ride. So that was it's a worldwide fundraiser for Movember to raise awareness for men's health. But I was lucky to be on the back of one of the big bikes for the distinguished gentleman's ride through Hua Hin. So it was quite interesting. About 30.
I've never heard of it. This distinguished general. I mean, I get this impression of people driving a great Harley with maybe, I don't know, a dinner suit on, or smoking a pipe, or that sort of.
Yeah. That's exactly it. You got it.
First thing when you said bike, I thought it was bicycle, and I thought, my God, that person must be strong carrying two people on one bicycle. So you motorcycles, okay?
Oh,
These are big.
Not that I'm saying you're heavy or anything. I'm just saying.
There were about 35 bikes, and there was a police convoy guiding them through the town. And Leigh was on one of the bikes, and she broadcast live on the radio from the bike as she went through the town. And that was good fun.
Can you send us a footage?
We'll send you some pictures and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do that. Absolutely.
but it raised a fantastic awareness for men's health here in Hua Hin, and there was people waving along the way, and I think also to have the local police do the escort also helped, elevate that ride. So it was quite successful overall.
And they raised about 40,000 baht here on that ride. And it takes place annually in around about 100 cities globally every year. So there you go.
Okay, so another one for Hua Hin there.
A lot of other things going on. We also just this last weekend had, what do we have? We have the Amarinda Aussie Irish football. And it's like Aussie rules soccer. I'm not into football at all. I mean, but when you got the Aussies and the Irish in one place trying to play football with a rugby ball, and then, well, it looks like rugby, but it's kind of football. It's a mix.
Well,
It's weird.
there's such a assimilation between the Gaelic football and Aussie rules, and me being an Aussie, so know about Aussie rules. So yeah, it's probably not too far-fetched, but it's actually quite a good game.
It was quite wild, wasn't it? It was good.
Absolutely.
I enjoy watching it. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. They had a lot of kids come down from Bangkok, and they were sponsored by a guy called John Campbell, who runs O'Brien's Irish pub in Bangkok. And apparently he financed, he sponsored quite a lot of this and brought quite a lot of the kids down for a children's team, a youngsters team. They're in their teens. And, these are underprivileged kids. Again, some of them hadn't even left Bangkok before. So it was a great adventure for them as well. And that was great. So what else has been going on? A lot. Yeah.
Where did it take place? The rugby thing?
It took place at True Arena last weekend. Last weekend.
Saturday, yep.
Last Saturday.
Was John Murphy involved in that as well? John Murphy?
Yes, John Murphy organized that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
John's a recent resident of Hua Hin. He's really quite active in organizing events, and I think he really wants to, just get things moving here. So he organized this soccer tournament, and 2 weeks ago he organized the Triskel golf tournament. Quite a large golf tournament, and he had people come in, and they were playing at Banyan Golf Course. He invited us, and again we took the radio station there and broadcast there. And he had the ambassador to Ireland playing. Also, the ambassador to New Zealand was playing as well. Also, a lot of business personalities and friends. So it was a very successful event, and they raised 210,000 baht for local charities there. So that was not bad for one event, was it?
Very, very good.
Yeah. You want me to continue? There's lots.
You carry on, mate. You're doing splendidly, young man.
So the big snooker tournament.
Yeah, we had a snooker tournament. I don't know much about it. except my colleague Bill Page went to that. I also went to have a look. The snooker, there was a huge snooker tournament sponsored by True at the Grand Hotel here in Hua Hin a couple of weeks ago. I think the most famous name in snooker in Thailand is James Watana. He was playing. Also,
Met him.
so there were a lot of really good top level Thai snooker players. I nearly said Irish, they're Thai snooker players participating in that. And that was on television, and it was in the local press, and it was free for people just to go and watch. So it was a good event.
Question, no international players?
Well, no, I think it was mainly Thai. They just had Stuart, who's a British player and had got a reputation and is a resident in Bangkok.
Okay, I get it.
He's the only international player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get, without COVID, if COVID wasn't here, it may have been more international.
I believe so. Yes, they would have invited international players.
From what I understand, like the Triskel Trophy and the football, all of this is basically not a trial run. It's all very successful in its own right, but it's actually preparing for next year to build up. Yeah, and I think I'm not sure who organised the snooker, maybe the Tourism Authority of Thailand or something like that. But I think it's fantastic. It's publicity.
There's so much been going on here. It is amazing. Also, last week they had Miss Universe.
Yes.
The very attractive young girls were down here.
Swimming suit one, yeah, the swimming suit one.
Huh?
Swimming suit. They're all in swimming suits.
Yes, they had that, but I mean, this was at the Intercontinental Hotel. Unfortunately, I actually missed that event, but you know, they were down here.
I'm sure you regret that, Richard. My God.
Richard, what are you doing missing the good stuff?
The one thing you should have watched.
Aussie rules, never mind, but Miss Universe, he misses it.
Your glasses have been all steamed up, for goodness sake. All right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you got the golf and the snooker.
Well, we got the
so,
golf and
you
the
know.
snooker and the football.
Absolutely.
Oh my
It's a
God.
man's world.
And
All the girls are fine, yeah.
but they were around town. They had pictures taken at the Hua Hin railway station. Also, they had some vintage cars there and things as well, didn't they?
They
So
put on a good show.
it was quite a good show, and that was organized.
But the worry, Richard, is that there's so many events going on, they're going to run out by the end of the year. They're going
It's
to run out
unbelievable.
of new events. There's so much happening.
Yeah, all down to Hua Hin to see tomatoes grow. Yeah, we're running out of things now.
Yeah. And on a slightly more serious, just before we get to you and your travels, on a slightly more serious note, I was invited by a local organization to go and watch them. Well, basically, they provide support for the underprivileged, and I'm quite not really involved, but I'm quite interested to see what's going on, because there are a lot of people, again, partly due to COVID and partly just because they've been left out of the system of support, that really do need food. So Mutsu, now she's half Japanese, half Taiwanese, lives here in Hua Hin. She runs the Sang Foundation. That's S-A-N-G, Sang Foundation, which is an organization supporting environment and supporting the underprivileged. And she invited me to go along and basically help out for one morning. And I went along, and they were loading up their trucks with loads of food that had been donated. And then we drove into town, just across the road from Hua Hin railway station, next to the very upmarket golf course, there is a slum village. And we drove down this track, and I've sent you some pictures. And there was a line of people, slum people. There were about 300 or 400 there, just lining up, waiting for food. And I was privileged to have been able to go and have a look at that and take some pictures and do some video and see, just be able to help them a little bit. But that's going to be an ongoing thing. I'm going to get involved fairly regularly with that group over the next year, and we'll support them also a little bit with promotion on the radio as well. But they are doing a terrific job, and they need help and they need funds to help the people that are really off the radar. The government doesn't support these people. Most of the people that live in town, you know, they're fairly affluent and they just, you know, they're out of sight, out of mind. And, you know, but these people, they have to live and they do exist and they need help.
How can people contact them to support or donate?
I'll send you their Facebook page and email address so you can pop
Okay,
that up
good.
on screen.
And we'll put that in the description below. Okay, all right.
Yes,
Fine.
absolutely. I'll send you all the details so that you've got everything. Yeah. So, you know, that's quite serious. Yeah. So on a lighter note,
Yes.
what have you been up to?
Well, you know, I've been traveling around and utilizing the Hua Hin, Chiang Mai, Hua Hin, Udon Thani flights that have just started up over the last, you know, couple of months. So
AirAsia are running those.
AirAsia has been running those.
And
so,
you got a good package ticket, didn't you?
yeah, I did get a good package ticket, so where you get discount on your flight. So I thought it was a great opportunity to, you know, because we really, probably from a tourist perspective, would love more flights post all of this happening to keep coming into Hua Hin as a international hub for tourists to fly directly here to help support the community. So took it upon myself to make sure that I'm supporting.
You're up there, yeah.
Supporting the flights, you know.
So you and Shane went up to Udon Thani,
yes,
right?
so we just got back from Udon Thani last,
Yeah,
when did we get back? Last Friday?
Yeah, last week.
And so, you know, I think it's important for Hua Hin to have that, you know, airport opening and, you know, there is plans to expand that airport. And certainly been in the tourist industry for 4 years here in Hua Hin. We certainly would love a little bit more, you know, bums on seats on people coming down to see our beautiful town.
But your regular thing. Sorry, did you have a question?
Yeah, I got a question. I was speaking to a friend of mine because I was looking to go down to Pattaya in mid-October, and he said, "No, don't go to Pattaya. Go to Hua Hin. The deals there are absolutely astounding, because from what I understand, what they're doing is that they are providing vouchers. So you may buy a room for 3,000 baht, for example, but you get a voucher for 1,500. And the hotels, from what I understand, they're now saying, we're not there to make a profit. We're just trying to get enough money in from the service charges to cover the cost of the staff, to be able to keep the hotel running.
Yes.
So
there are certainly some very good deals. I was at the Centara yesterday. I met Jan, the resident manager at Centara, you know, a 5-star hotel. You know, most of the big hotels are doing great at the weekends, and so are the smaller ones. But during the week, well, yesterday they were down to 20% occupancy, which is, you know, they can hardly break even over the month. And I think, you know, the smaller hotels, as you say, are offering terrific packages of 1,000 or 1,500 baht. You know.
Well, this is the problem that most hoteliers are saying, that during low season, some of them, quite a lot of them, had quite a good low season because of the weekend occupancy from Thai people. But they all said where the crunch will come is the high season. That's when, you know, locals cannot keep these hotels afloat by just coming weekends. They need, you know, people from the West or from China or from wherever to fill up their hotels.
Well, but what were you were saying, Richard, about the small hotels? What I was actually talking about was the bigger hotels like JW Marriott and places like that. What they're doing is their normal rack rate maybe 6,000, maybe 3,500 now. But then they give you a voucher on top of that of 1,000, 1,500.
For what?
Something to that, which you can spend in the hotel, or I'm not sure if it extends to Bangkok. But the deals out there, basically you can, okay, you're spending it all within that brand, but your hotel is costing maybe 1,000 baht, if that, once you take into consideration all the vouchers you're getting. So this is what I mean for people traveling. But Hua Hin was pointed out as being the main place to have a fantastic time, and also to visit. Now that'll spin off to other things. Maybe there's some tours, or something that can be arranged. If we can get your details of your place, we'll give your contact for your tours. Maybe they want to do cycling. Maybe they wanted to go and see. Rent a van to go and see the caves and things like that, because we were discussing before, and we've found out there's so much more to Hua Hin, and I've been here over 30 years, and some places I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I think
Absolutely.
that's what we're specialising at this Feast Thailand. We specialise in food tours, but we now have
Even better.
yeah, exactly. We can suit you, but you know, it's about now looking at all those places that you wouldn't normally would go and see and do here. And there is actually, living here, you actually know where all those little places are. And so what we're doing is we're really designing packages for people that are taking them to places where we love to go and see, you know, and those little off the outback type of attractions that you probably wouldn't normally see in a normal time. And I suppose that what that's made us all do is really think differently about our client, our consumer, and ensuring that, you know, they've got a fantastic, unique stay here in Hua Hin. So,
but have you been getting some Thai visitors on your trips? Because it must have been fairly quiet for you, quite difficult.
Yeah, it has been quite difficult. So no, because the challenge where we are now, because we were a food tour business, so we had already had a sightseeing about us, but we're really starting right down on the lower rung now. So it's nearly like we've really started again around how we market those sightseeing pieces and tours. But, you know, our website and, and our social media pages, you know, we're just doing a lot more Thai language, you know, aiming a lot more to a domestic Thai tourist. And plus there's an expat client out there as well. So, you know, it's just, you're just starting right down on the bottom rung again.
So where are you taking these people down to these tiny little restaurants, Thai restaurants that are in the back soys?
Yeah, like that's
or up over the hills or whatever.
Our food tours have always been around showing people where the best tasting Thai food is, and not really food that you would normally eat. But I think one thing about Hua Hin is everything has to be searched out a little bit, which makes it actually quite an adventure. But that's where you find all the good things to see or good things to eat. But we do that. But you know, but even when we're doing sightseeing tours, you know, we know where some of the best places are to go and eat. And you know, it doesn't all have to be spicy, but it sure has to taste good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Anything? What's coming up? What's coming up in Hua Hin?
What is coming up? Well, all right. It's just been the 6th anniversary of the Hua Hin Cycle Club. They had around 20 bikes, that's all. And they rode down through Prambri. Heading the line there was the mayor, who really wanted to promote, you know, the idea of safe cycling. And cycling is huge here. So I think there are going to be a lot more cycling adventures. So coming up this weekend, a slight change, pickleball. It's a pickleball weekend. And pickleball, we mentioned that before. It's a little bit like table tennis, but it's like standing. It's a cross between table tennis and badminton, and it's quite high speed, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's quite good.
Totally.
So we talked recently with Alison Fulton, who is organizing the local pickleball tournament here. And she was saying that she was playing out in Texas, and they have an international tournament every year coming up this weekend. But because people can't fly to Texas, they're doing it online. So they're organizing local pickleball tournaments in different countries, including Hua Hin. And then they're going to stream that back to Texas and show the whole lot there. And so that's happening this coming weekend. Pickleball, the Texas Championship, the International Championship, taking place. And you can go and watch if you're around True Arena again. That is on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it's quite popular here in Hua Hin pickleball, so really popular.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, it does sound like, and we've covered this ground before, but that Hua Hin is really like getting it together. There's lots of people from different areas of business and entertainment like joining to improve Hua Hin. And you can see, you said you've had loads of things going on. You're also preparing for when the borders are open, so that you're going to be ready to go. I can see Hua Hin in the future looks very, very bright. And thank you very much for coming on today, guys.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
I think the only other thing is, next time you drive into Hua Hin, you're driving between Chatham and Hua Hin, have a look for some signs. There have been some signs, pictures, great big pictures of sunflowers have appeared all over the road, near Pet Kasem Road, between Hua Hin and Chatham. sunflowers. Check them out. And that's about it. That's all we got.
Well, on that sunny note, thank you very much, Leigh. Thank you very much, Richard. And it was interesting, and hopefully we'll talk to you very soon for another Hua Hin report. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So there we go. That was a Hua Hin report, which I must admit was very interesting. Did you find that okay? Really?
Yes,
You're looking like a rabbit in the headlights there.
I was just still looking at the guys there.
Well, okay, we're still on air.
Good,
Yeah. Okay, if it's your first time here for the channel, don't forget to share, because that's the way that, you know, people get to know what we're doing here. And we're going to give a big shout out to all our subscribers in a video, in the next one or something
Comments,
like that.
people who
and
commented,
comments,
yes.
yeah. And every single person that's subscribed, we do really thank you for doing that, and we do appreciate it. Also, liking the video is good as well, and if it's the first time, then subscribe. So that's it from us, I think. Anything
Yes,
else?
that's it.
All right then. See you next
later.
time on Bangkok Chit Chat. Thank you for
Okay.
joining us.
Bye.